Yo, yo, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Let's do a watch list prep for April. March is over. It's the end of the month there today. So let's look to kick off April strong. S&P 500 overall markets gap down, washout, broke prior support, and reclaimed with a vengeance. Some nice volume came in there, and a little pivot off the lows, and held up pretty well. So that brought a bunch of other names with it. You could have picked any basket, but they all kind of bounced. I had looked at Reddit this morning. I don't think I mentioned on the watch list, but we had this 105 level that I had noted back here maybe a week or so ago on the watch list. And this 105 is lining up with this gap fill. So what I'm looking for is for either this bounce to fail on the overall markets or Reddit to start to show some relative weakness and have this top out versus 105s. If this starts to break through and reclaim, then definitely not interested. But if we either get relative weakness or the overall markets start to pull, then that would be my trade of choice given the chart. I think there's at least 20 points of downside on something like that. VVPR continues to channel, waiting for it to break. You can see the channel it traded in on Friday. We flushed, broke below it briefly, and then right up near highs before coming back in mid-range. So just waiting for this channel to break in this 360, 370 range. And then I will get interested, but nothing I'm looking to long right now, given the volume resistance up near $5. MLGO broke out today. Someone had mentioned that on the watch list yesterday. Breakout through 20. Right through here, that was the breakout level. Swiped up through it, pulled back pretty hard, but big picture, held up. This probably shook out a lot of longs and then made it a lot less crowded. Nate had mentioned that he noticed the borrow cost tick up pretty quick today, where it was dub zero for the past week or so. It was now quite a bit more expensive, a few cents a share. So typically demand of the borrows and there's a finite supply of how much the clearing firm can offer. So if people are swing shorting these names, then that takes away from that finite supply. Therefore, demand is higher and cost has to go up to find that equilibrium. So if people are swing shorting this with that false sense of hope off those 19s, 20-ish, then they got popped today. So still not really interested in it, but still keeping it on watch. HMR daily candle. I'm still in this one. Daily candle, nice wick off the lows, held prior support. So yes, we did fail this higher low trend line, but if this can reclaim, it's closing right on it. So if this can get back above those 330s, I think the trend is still there. But it wicked below it and so far is still holding up. So I'm going to need to see that reclaim tomorrow. If it starts to take out these levels, I'll have to move on. Ava gap down, didn't continue going higher. So hopefully can speed up. ICCT, this thing was wild, one of the main gappers today. And you had right here, you have this pullback, wicks, starts to squeeze out and gets slammed. This is definitely a long trap. And then it gets slammed. Now this long trap turns into short trap and starts ramping, going nuts, and ends up hitting $2, almost $3 in after hours. But it's an insane squeeze. history of one and dones, so we'll see where this one ends up tomorrow. I'm hoping this continues to run for another day, but this sort of 220 to 230 level, you can see where that red line is. Prior top became support and then kind of tried to bounce up right through here. So this little 220 to 230 range, if we get a straight up spike into that, I probably react to it. But yeah. Court, this one was a phase 3 news name. Large cap, real company. I think it's got like a 10 billion market cap. But it's just a big percent gainer. This thing's up over 100% on a 10 billion market cap is crazy. So what's happened before on some of these names, like, kind of reminds me of Avis over here. I didn't know if it was going to do something wild like that and get like a straight up spike. So I'm going to keep it on watch in case it does get nutty. Reddit, my size. This one kind of... I nailed it. And it just went a hell of a lot lower. We had this little... this 1067 was the line I put in Investors Underground. I commented on it live when I had taken my starter. And was going to let it... We had this little left shoulder head and then looking for a right shoulder. So as long as whatever this was a lower high to high a day, I was looking to scale. And that's exactly what we got. Pushed up and failed. And then I'm looking for prior support to become resistance. So I start to scale in there, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. It's holding below this 267 level. So that's confirming my thesis. And then this bar right here, after we've topped out 5 times and then starts to roll over, you get a little volume increase and it wicks and snaps right back. So I covered. I was like, oh, that was a dip rip candle, like, get me out. And then it starts to reclaim, and then one candle, boom. And I'm like, oh man. Now hitting it at 250 is a lot different than hitting it at 270. That's 10% chase. So I didn't get back in there, but hindsight is definitely should have. But so far, this kind of move reminds me of me, where we had strong day 1, and then right here, where you get this same kind of action, morning strength, you draw this little 110 failed fall through, fails, completely round trips, and then next day you get one of these that just test the patience of those people that didn't have a reason to cover on day 1, and then stop them all out and then give edge to people that don't have a position and be able to react into it. So I think that could happen on my size. Obviously 260 was that failed fall through level, but I think you could use some of these little congestion areas, maybe prior top, prior base, somewhere in there in the 220s or something like that. So if this opens kind of flat around here and then maybe a straight up spike through $2, then I'd be interested there. So VVPR, kind of quiet idea. HMR, quiet idea. ICCT, higher the better. I'm hoping this goes multiple days, but if it gaps up enough tomorrow, I would still trade it. Reddit, eyeing this 105 level with the markets. My size, higher the better. Straight up spikes, parabolics. And then NMAX, funny enough, my aunt, I have an aunt lives down in California, and she had asked me, she was up here visiting not too long ago, and she knows I trade and invest and stuff, and she goes, hey, I use this service called Newsmax. Have you ever heard of it? And I was like, no, I haven't heard of it. And she says, oh, well, I've used it in the past, and they said that they were going to go public, and so if you ever see anything about it, let me know. Well, this thing went public today. It went from $13 to $100. So, needless to say, next time she's got some picks. Funny. Another wild move. So, anyways, that's the watch list. Nothing really A+, but I think still some stuff to trade. You know, like MYSZ wasn't on the watch list yesterday, but that was maybe not A grade setup, but maybe a B, and it could have turned into an A grade reward had I maximized it. So stuff will come around, and a new month, fresh start. So let's trade them well, get them where we fit in, and make some goddamn memories. Alrighty, see you guys later. Peace.